Peace stars, welcome to another episode of the Diehards podcast. As you can see on the screen there, we got Sexton and Love to the Knicks. This is my personal speculation, man. I feel like the Knicks should not be in this draft. We should be looking to expedite this journey. And you're rocking with the kid today. It's your boy Eru. As you can see, I'm gonna be referencing this dailyknicks.com article. It's actually made about 3 weeks ago. So we're gonna talk Colin Sexton and Love to the Knicks. Without further ado, Diehards podcast, Eru, let's get busy. Yeah, man. You know how I do live podcasts. I'm not into the editing stuff, man. Because the editing kind of takes the genuine thoughts and stuff out of the whole thing, man. So I like to give it to you raw. No chaser. You might catch a couple curses and stuff like that. First, let me reference the hat, man. This is the Mark Jackson draft hat. You know what I'm saying? I always had this in the stash. It's in crisp condition. I only wear it on special occasions because the Knicks are not going to be in the lottery. You know what I'm saying? So that's great. That's great right off the bat, man. So not to be in the mix because you see all these different teams. They should have went a little bit higher. They fell a little bit. Houston should have got the number one pick, and I guess Detroit got it. So a couple, fans are probably salty out there. They all wanted Cade Cunningham and all this and that and the other. The Knicks weren't in the mix for Cade Cunningham. We actually had a good season. Winning is actually a good thing, guys. A lot of people, they're still talking about that we should have tanked, to get Cade and all that, fade for Cade. But, I mean, those days are over, man. We were 41-31. We need to expedite this thing, man. So my whole thing with this Colin Sexton and Love thing is that we don't need any rookies, man. We already got, Knox is on the roster. Knox might actually be in this trade. Knox is on the roster still. We got Luka Vildoza on the team. We got Emmanuel Quickly. We got Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin might be in this trade as well. We got a bunch of whatever. RJ Barrett, Mitchell Robinson. We got a bunch of young guys on this team already that are young, but they also are getting close to the end of their contract. Mitchell Robinson got to be paid. RJ Barrett's going to get paid eventually. They're already talking about, Zion, but it might not be to the Knicks. Maybe RJ might go to go play with Zion wherever he's going to go. You know what I'm saying? So that's all on the table. It's not just the Knicks are the center of the universe. Just like you're not going to trade the 19 and 21 pick and the 32 pick and somehow get into the top 10. Get out of here, man. You guys are crazy, man. But we're not going to talk about that. We're talking about this here. So let's reference the article here. So this is a Daily Knicks article. Shout out to the Daily Knicks, man. I actually did a podcast with the editor-in-chief of Daily Knicks. So you could check out my in my podcast there about my guests, and you can see that podcast and get to it. I'll leave a link in the description as well. While you're at it, guys, before I get started, please get out there and subscribe to the podcast, like this actual podcast that I'm doing, and that helps to improve the channel and all that good stuff, man. So let's just talk about the article. We could just scroll all the way down to who actually he has on the in the trade. Colin Sexton for Obi Toppin, Kevin Knox, number 21 and number 32. That's basically it. The Detroit pick is what's important because when it comes to the Knicks, like we don't want to really trade our pick because we don't want to be strapped next year if we need to trade that pick because we only have our pick next year. So this year we have Dallas's pick, and then the year after we have Dallas's pick. We also don't want to get rid of that pick too because the 2023 draft is a draft where we're going to have high school students and first-year college players in the same draft. So we can't trade the 23 pick. So we could use that for leverage and stuff like that, but we really don't want to do that. So the best option is to trade the Dallas pick. That's why Daily Knicks used it. Let's check the guy that wrote the article before we get started. This is Mark Nillen. Mark Nillen is the one that wrote this article. So make sure you get these guys credit for their articles and stuff. But like I said, we should trade the Dallas pick because we might potentially trade next year's pick. In a deal down the line or something like that. So you want to have that flexibility. So here's the thing also with Colin Sexton. Colin Sexton only makes $6 million, man. He only makes $6 million. So that's the reason why that we're able to trade him for draft picks. Young players and draft picks. He doesn't make a lot. So you don't see Kevin Love's name here, but add Kevin Love to this equation, man. So just give me a second. I'm gonna drop this out. and I'm gonna put up the actual trade that I came up with on on the trade machine here. So once again, this is live stuff. So give me a second. Let me get over to this tab and do the trade machine. This is on Fanspo. So I'm quite sure you guys can see it. I'll make it a little bit bigger so you guys can see the whole thing, man. So this is the trade here. Kevin Love and Colin Sexton for Obi Toppin, the 2021 second round pick that we got from Detroit, and also the 2021 first round pick from Dallas. So why does this work? Like I said, Colin Sexton only makes $6.3 million for the remainder of his contract. Kevin Love makes 31. So a lot of fans seem to think that we can just absorb Ben Simmons' contract, which is ridiculous because Ben Simmons is on a max, but just like Kevin Love. But Philly's not going to just give away Ben Simmons just for draft picks. That's not going to happen. Their team that this in the playoffs. They got Doc Rivers over there. They're in the same boat that we're in. So they're going to try to win now. So if they're going to trade Ben Simmons, they're going to trade Ben Simmons for another max player. On the other hand, Cleveland is looking to shed salary because they're not trying to win. They have a bunch of guys that play the same position over there. So Kevin Love is a guy that's dangling, and the Knicks have all this cap space to take on players. So we can easily take in Kevin Love's contract. And excuse me, this is New York City, man. So anybody that has a New York City podcast, you're gonna hear New York City in the background. Those damn mufflers, man, they need to be banned, man. I'm kind of sick of it because you would think it's a motorcycle, but it's not. So it's like a used freaking Honda Civic from 2006. But anyway, we can just absorb Kevin Love's contract, and also Colin Sexton will come over for the ride. Obi Toppin, you give Obi Toppin away just for the simple fact we got Julius Randle. We're trying to win now. Tip your hat to Obi Toppin. I think Obi Toppin is going to be a good player for the Knicks. But like I said, he's going to be coming off the bench. In the role that Kevin Love would play on the Knicks, that's the role that Obi Toppin would play. But we will have to hope that he gets there. The thing about Kevin Love, he's going to be at that level already. He's going to be basically the player that he's been up until this point. He's going to be a double-double guy. He's going to shoot the three, pass the ball. Defense is going to be shaky, but in the role that we're going to have him in, more than likely, is going to be a backup to Mitch Robinson and Julius Randle to preserve him. Because when it comes down to it, when it gets into the fourth quarter stuff like that, Kevin Love more than likely is going to be in the ball game, and he's going to impact the game rebounding wise, like I said, passing, shooting, everything. Everything when it comes to that, and he'll more than likely will play center in those situations. We can mix and match that. Even just keep Mitchell Robinson, and maybe if Julius Randle is in foul trouble. In the mix of all this will actually save Julius Randle a little bit too. Julius Randle played a lot of minutes, most improved player. But getting Kevin Love will get Randle off the floor sometimes, and just let the offense run through Kevin Love. Kevin Love could pass that ball. He could play with anybody basically. So that would be a definite boost off the bench to help out Julius Randle, number one, for the minutes, and to give us another look by sticking Kevin Love in there at center to back up Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson will be the defense, and Kevin Love will come in there to be that offense, man. So, right up, this is just a blueprint. This is not. I'm not a GM. This is just a computer program. It said it's successful. It's successful because the Knicks are going to be roughly, give or take a few $1 million, $50 to $55 million, possibly up to $60 million in cap space, between $50 and $60 million in cap space. We could take on Kevin Love, like I said, for $30 million. Trade Obi Toppin, which is basically a contract for a contract with Sexton, and then give them the Dallas first round pick and Detroit second round pick. I think that's the deal that they would do. Maybe you might think, oh no, man, Cleveland got to give us the draft pick. They got to give us their number one draft pick along with that. You got to be realistic, man. We're getting the two best players in this trade. We are helping Cleveland eliminate that cap space, but we are getting two of the best players in this trade. Basically, a fleece job if you're not thinking in the way of Cleveland clearing cap and stuff like that. So I think, how does it help the Knicks? I think it helps, like I said, it helps the Knicks. It bolsters the bench. It gives a guy with experience to come off the bench to be able to score, pass, and all this other thing, and give Julius Randle a breather. I didn't mention Colin Sexton's impact. We basically ran with Elfrid Payton last year with Tom Thibodeau. Elfrid Payton was a defensive guy. He was able to get to the basket in the beginning of the year. He was averaging 10 and 3 in the beginning of the year, man. So setting the table for whoever came off the bench for him. We eventually got let me get a second, guys. We eventually got what do you call Derrick Rose to come off the bench, and that was all cute and this, that, and the other, but it showed a glaring hole in the offense and in the way that Tom Thibodeau coaches. Tom Thibodeau is ISO heavy. All those stats came out towards the end of the season. We're very ISO heavy. Tom Thibodeau tends to go to his star players when the game is on the line, right? So Elfrid Payton starting the game was always throwing us in the hole because it made Julius Randle do too much. It iced RJ Barrett a lot too because it put so much pressure on those guys to be perfect because you have Mitchell Robinson, they can't score, Elfrid Payton, they can't score, and then when Mitchell Robinson was out, Nerlens Noel, he can't score. And then you got Reggie Bullock. So the pressure on your two main guys, Julius Randle and RJ, was too much, man. So Elfrid Payton at times, especially in the beginning of the season, he was getting 20-point games. In between it was 5-point games. He would get 20-something point games, and he would basically win the game for us a lot of times by taking the ball, taking the scoring load on in those games. But Colin Sexton's going to walk in here a bucket. He's going to be a walking bucket. He's fearless. He almost took out the Brooklyn Nets by himself during the season. He's not afraid to bang against some of these big boys out there. You know what I'm saying? So getting him, especially so cheaply and in this manner, is just great for the Knicks. It's an opportunity that I feel like that we can't miss. It's an opportunity that we're not going to get at 19 and 21. If you check out the podcast that I did with State of the New York Knicks, my last podcast, we actually did a draft reaction. So State actually went through every year of the 19th pick, every year of the 21st pick, and it's basically garbage. The 32nd pick is even worse. You know what I'm saying? So it's a crapshoot. But if you trade these guys, trade these picks over and turn it into Colin Sexton and Kevin Love, that's a win. I see some comments there, in the thing. I'll get to them in a second. But I think this is absolutely what we should be doing, what we should be thinking about. Not Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons is not it. Because Ben Simmons, number one, should be a power forward on Philly. They messed up. Doc Rivers messed up the whole thing over there. They should have had Ben Simmons in that role. They should have used Shake Milton a little bit more. I'm not a diehard Philly fan. I'm a diehard Knicks fan. So, I'm just looking from the outside in. But they should have used the assets and the power that they had over there, the offense, and worked it a little bit better over there, man. So if we take on Ben Simmons, we're going to have to get shooters everywhere. We're going to have to get a shooter at the center. So, we will have to do a separate deal for Kevin Love. But we already took on the $30 million from Ben Simmons. That's if Philly takes this deal, which I don't think Philly's going to take this deal. Because, like I mentioned, Philly's in our same boat. They want to win now. So if they're going to trade on Ben Simmons, it's going to be for another, star player. It's going to be star for star with Philly. It's not going to be like that. Maybe they might trade Tobias Harris, whatever, man. Because I'm not a diehard Philly fan. But just like I said, I'm speaking from the outside in. But this scenario, I think is perfect, man. You have Colin Sexton in there. Julius Randle, you leave him as the facilitator. He averaged 20. I don't have the exact numbers. 20, 10, and 6, 7, whatever is 6, 7 assists. He's a facilitator. So allow him to continue to be the facilitator. Let him come in the game and make his little moves, get the passes that he throws into the corner, and this whatever he does. When it gets into Colin Sexton's hand, it's going to be a lot different than when Elfrid got in his hand. It's also going to be a lot different than when Derrick Rose had in his hand as well. Elfrid Payton and Derrick Rose, they had their moments last year, but Colin Sexton is a kid that's entering his prime, soon to be paid more than likely a big contract. Once his rookie deal is up, so he's a guy that's hungry to be a star. He's on the biggest stage in the NBA with the Knicks actually relevant and winning. So he's going to be going crazy. And then to have that weapon along with Julius Randle, and we still got RJ, which I think RJ is going to take another step as well. Because if you count the beginning of his career, his first year, he did okay. Graduated into the second year. In the beginning, it started bad, and then he build up his stats to get you 17 and whatever, 17 and 6, 7, whatever his stats are. That's not necessarily important. But I could see RJ making that next step to get closer into 20 points a game. Or at least giving you games where he doesn't completely disappear off the map like he does. Because that 17 point a game could have been closer to 20, if he didn't have those really, really bad games in between. You know what I'm saying? So that's just something to think about too. So I can see Julius Randle maybe getting duplicating his stats, or maybe a little bit less as far as points. Still facilitating. RJ Barrett possibly jumping up a little bit in the points department. Maybe adding a little bit of extra, refining other things in his game. But Colin Sexton is the X factor because he's that third guy, that's going to make the defense honest. And we're just gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do at shooting guard. We'll still have money too. That's another thing. I want to get to the money. If we absorb Kevin Love's contract, that's 30 mil. So you take 30 mil off the books. Now we have roughly about 20 mil. 20 mil, 25, 20 to 25 mil. So we're still in the market for a guard, right? Colin Sexton's not going to be a distributor, right? So if we have 20 to 25 million dollars, what guard is available right now that everyone calls a facilitator, that loves his jump shot, that's still young, and they all watch his Facebook reality show, right? That's Lonzo Ball. We still got money to pay Lonzo Ball after this goes down. You know what I'm saying? So we got Kevin Love and Colin Sexton already on the team. Now we throw $20 million at Lonzo Ball. I don't want to pay him $20 million, but that's probably what his market's going to be. You give Lonzo Ball $20 million. Now you got to start a lineup of Julius Randle, RJ, Mitch starting, Colin Sexton, and Lonzo Ball. You mean to tell me that that's not a really, really good team? That is a really, really good team, and that's better than any scenario that you're gonna have. Say that we're gonna draft somebody at 19 or somebody at 21. Who are we drafting? It's a crapshoot. Who are we drafting in this draft? We're not moving up. We're not gonna trade the 19th, the 20th, and the 32nd pick, and all of a sudden get the 5th pick. It's not gonna happen. It's a pipe dream. We're not going to get Ben Simmons for nothing. We're not going to get Ben Simmons for just cap space and bottom dwelling on draft picks. That's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? This it could possibly happen. Cleveland does not want a Colin Sexton anymore. They're not showing him any love. They didn't extend qualifying offers and stuff like that. They're already talking about him not being on the roster. In the way that they do things over there. And they already have their point guard, and if they they have a high draft pick too. So they could possibly get their shooting guard to replace Colin Sexton in that starting lineup. You know what I'm saying? So all everything on their end will be great. Getting that extra draft pick is good for them too, because they're a team that's building. They're trying to clear money, and they try to continue to build their team up through the draft and stuff like that. So everything works for them on their end. But it absolutely works on our end too, man. So I would like to know what you guys think about all this. I had a couple other things queued up here, to show you guys, but I guess that really doesn't matter, man. So I just really want to know what you guys think for guys that are in the comments here. Start way at the top here. At the top of the show, we got Kareem Adolphus. He was here. He says hell no. Everybody always says hell no in to start the podcast until you hear what I have to say. So hopefully you stuck around, and for people that catch this on the replay, you guys could hear what I have to say. Because I totally convinced myself this is exactly what I want to do. Because we need that that go-to guy that can get a bucket for you. Somebody you can just give the ball to and he can get a bucket. Colin Sexton's that guy. Tom Thibodeau is like he had one of the most isolations in the whole league. I'm not sure if it's the number one, but whatever it is, I don't have those stats up here. But if Tom Thibodeau plays like that, Colin Sexton is. I'm perfectly okay with Colin Sexton isoing. You know what I'm saying? And we'll be successful in that. Julius Randle could get isos every once in a while, and maybe RJ Barrett as well. But the main guy is going to be Colin Sexton. And I'm like I said, I'm totally with that. And then once we pay Lonzo Ball, we take on Kevin Love as well. We pay Lonzo Ball. We still have a couple little dollars left. We can still get other players, Mercs, like last year we got Noel for $5 million. We got Alec Burke for $6 million. Reggie Bullock, I think he got $8 million or something like that. So we could finagle and get some veteran to come in here to help out. It could be Reggie Bullock again for $5 million. Just to come off the bench and things like that. Then once we have that, we can go over the cap to sign somebody with the mid-level exemption. Once we get spent all our cap space, then we can start playing with the exemptions and the what do you call the veteran minimums and things like that. So we're at that point now we will be looking to be a perennial playoff team and really trying to make that noise, man. So shout out to let me just throw you guys up here. Kareem Adolphus, we got Kicks, Cucks, and Knicks is here. He says salute. We got Frank Matos. Shout out to Frank Matos, is always hanging out. Yeah, man, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. God damn it. Kareem Grant is here. Peace. What's up? Yeah, man, make sure you guys subscribe. I appreciate you guys, man. All these names here, I see you guys all the time. You guys support the podcast. I'm glad you guys are here, man. What's Kareem Grant saying here? He said, if we keep our first round picks, there will be third string players. Yeah, that's a big point there. Tom Thibodeau is not going to play them. Quickly is the exception. Quickly just came in here with all this confidence and this, that, and the other. And he basically in the preseason took the spot because Dennis Smith Jr. was here. It was Dennis Smith Jr.'s job to take. You know what I'm saying? It was his job. And quickly came from the draft or whatever. No summer league. And just came in and took his spot like it was nothing. And they traded Dennis Smith Jr. and now he'll be playing in China before long. You know what I'm saying? And I don't anticipate that happening again. Because quickly he's still young. He has to prove to figure out what he's gonna be. He might actually be that shooting guard or whatever to start. Everybody keeps saying he's better off the bench, but we don't know his career. He's young. Shout out to New Yorker. Give me Miles Turner. Miles Turner is there too, man. But I kind of like this idea because we got Mitchell Robinson. Miles Turner would be nice, but we already got Mitchell Robinson. So why trade away assets to get a guy that's just like Mitchell Robinson? And you want to send it that can shoot threes because Turner can shoot threes. You got Kevin Love. I just got us Kevin Love. So we add that aspect to the roster. Cuts, Knicks, and Kicks and Knicks. See, that's the thing. You got to give us a first round pick, but they're not going to give us their sixth pick. Right now, like I said, I don't have their picks up right now. I'm not going to put them up. That's like a podcast for another day. But they're not going to give us their top pick. In this deal, that's not happening. Maybe they'll give us a second round. Maybe a future consideration, maybe, but I doubt it. And I'm not going to ask for it, man, because we got two of the best players in this whole thing. I'd rather sign Peyton back. So you're being silly, Matos, man. Colin Sexton is a scorer. He's definitely. I think he'll be hungry, man. I'll trade that Dallas pick and the second for Sexton. That's essentially what we're doing. You got to add Obi Toppin in there because we're taking on. In my opinion, I think that's what's going to happen because you got to look at it from the other team's perspective too. Like when it comes to negotiation, you're not going to be like, "Hey, man, take my whole roster for this guy." That's not how it works. You give the low, they give you their counter, and you just counter back and forth until you figure out if it's something that you want to do. If you're motivated to make a trade with that team, Knox in the pick for Sexton, that's all possible. I just messed up the thing. Sexton is a ball hog. That's good for us. Tom Thibodeau wants ball hogs. Tom Thibodeau likes to do isolations. So if Sexton is a ball hog, that's good. Because like I said, we're gonna sign Lonzo Ball in this scenario as well. Like I said, after we absorb Kevin Love's contract, we'll have $20 to $25 million left, and we'll be able to sign Lonzo Ball along with it too. So we already got the ball mover, the facilitator, and Lonzo Ball. He could shoot the three. He's not going to be looking to do too much. And then Colin Sexton could do what he does. Colin Sexton in this scenario could be the Jamal Murray. Because Julius Randle will still be the passing guy, just like Joker. Don't kill me for the comparison, but Julius Randle led us in assists. So that's his role as in Tibbs' team. Randall's role as a facilitator. He averages 6 or 7 assists. You know what I'm saying? So he is that Joker role for us. So why can't Colin Sexton come here and beat Jamal Murray? Jamal Murray's not facilitating over there. But you have that second backcourt mate in Lonzo Ball that's going to be that facilitator, that the hockey assist guy, the guy that's going to give the lead passes and all that stuff to get easy baskets. The things that everybody say about him. He's going to shoot the three. So if that ball swings around, if Julius Randle passes it to RJ, moves it to Sexton. Sexton does his thing, can't find it. Give the ball to Lonzo Ball to hit the three in the corner. This is good stuff here, man. To me, and we're gonna play defense because everybody credits Lonzo Ball to be a good defender. Colin Sexton is a competitor, not necessarily a good defender, but he's a competitor. We got Mitchell Robinson is a good defender. RJ Barrett's a really good defender. He's gonna end up being one of the, recognized for that one day. Julius Randle also got some votes in the defensive teams too. So we're still gonna keep up that defense. You got Tom Thibodeau here. So I think it's going to be great. Keep Obi, send Knox in those picks only. If that's what Cleveland wants, Knox sucks. Knox sucks. And they already got guys on that team that I'm not going to pull up. I guess I could reference their team. I don't have to pull it up on the screen. Isaac Okoro. That's the end of the story right there. They got Isaac Okoro. So what the hell are they doing with Kevin Knox? Isaac Okoro is going to be their starting small forward. So what the hell? Like I said, what are they going to do with Kevin Knox? Mixed Knox and both our first round picks for Brogdon and Turner. Why would Indiana do that? Why would Indiana do that? You got to think. You got to think about that. Why would Indiana do that? That's crazy. Two of their best players for Mitch Knox and both our first round picks, which is the 19th and the 21st pick, and Knox, who's trash, and Mitchell Robinson, who's just a defender, a rim runner at this time. You know what I'm saying? Why would Indiana do that? He goes, Gino. Hey, Gino, what's going on, man? Thank you for tuning in on the last few times. What's up, man? Move up, draft. Yeah, man. We gotta stay in the mix of things. I'm with it, man. I don't want to draft this year. And like I said, in this scenario, we only given Dallas's pick, so we'll still have our pick, which is the 19th pick. So that could also be used to throw, tack the 19th pick along with Kevin Knox to try to get another player. Or move up if that's what you guys want to do. Who cares? At this point, you got your framework for the roster that you're gonna have. So everything else is gonna be cake, in my opinion. I don't know about trading with the Cavs. It's not about trading with the Cavs or trading with whoever. Because here's the thing. And in mainstream media and all the other podcasts, whatever, they keep talking about the same damn teams. Golden State, we're gonna trade for Golden State, get their picks. Oh, we're gonna trade for whatever team, Philly. All these different teams that they keep talking about. Why not Cleveland? Can we talk about somebody else? There's like 29 other teams. Minnesota. We're putting so much emphasis on Philly right now. Look at Minnesota. Minnesota got a bunch of players over there that they're not doing nothing with in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying? So there's deals to be made. This is just my opinion on Colin Sexton and Kevin Love. Which I'm like salivating over. I think it's a great idea. Yeah, man. That's definitely something cool. Leon Rose, CAA. They have relationships with all these players, man. Kevin Love and all this. They all have this relationship with players, man. So it's a good thing to have. But aside from all of that, we really got to think about doing something really good for this team this year. Let me just get through these comments, and then it's an option, but the Knicks need a first round pick. Why do we need to get a first round pick in this trade? I hear you. Everybody wants to get that first round pick that'll make them happy. But what about this trade is so bad that we need to get a first round pick? We getting Kevin Love, who's still a double guy. If we had him and we featured him, he would still get 20 and 12. That's what he was doing before. He would get 20 and 12, 18 and 10, whatever you want to say. He would get that if we featured him like that. He would get that. So and Colin Sexton, if we feature him, he'll be getting over 20 points a game with the Knicks. And we are gonna put him in a spot where we're gonna need him to score. So he's gonna get all those points. We're only giving Obi Toppin, who was a borderline bust this year. He only played well in the playoffs. Borderline bust, Obi Toppin. And a first round pick, which is number 21 from Dallas, and a second round pick, which is 32. Why do we need to get the first round pick? If anything, Cleveland could ask for another one. So I think this deal is way fair when you factor in the situations of each team. So for those that are just coming in, I hope you can go to the replay, watch this video over. I kind of paint the picture of how I wanted things to go, and I think it's a great idea. We got Gotham Ghost Rider. Thank you for tuning in. It's the first time I've ever seen your name. 6 foot point guards who doesn't pass. No thanks. We're gonna get Lonzo Ball in this scenario. So there you go. Shout out to Chris Paul. How tall is Chris Paul? You know, shout out to DeJounte Murray. I didn't mention him. How tall is he? These are all players that people are talking about on other shows. DeJounte Murray, Javante, whatever his name is, not DeJounte Murray, Devontae Graham, excuse me, from Charlotte. How tall is he? I think my kids are taller than him, and my kids are 5 and 7. I think my kids are taller than him. You know what I'm saying? So those are players that they want for the Knicks. So Colin Sexton has already proven what he can do in the NBA. So it's not something that we don't know if he can do it. He's already proven it already. Boost Mobile, shout out to you. I've seen you on here before. Thanks again, for hanging out. Kareem. Kareem just mentioned Graham. The 6 foot point guard stuff, man. I don't want Graham. Graham had an off year last year. Is Graham a good player, or is he going to come here and become Chris Childs? I don't want that to happen. We need to go for guys that we know are a certain player. The one thing that sticks out with Colin Sexton is his balls. His balls are tremendous. He has huge balls, man. Even going back to high school when he used to diss the opposing coach's son. This video of him talking trash to the opposing coach about how trash his son was. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, this kid, the set of balls on this kid is crazy. And that's something that we need. We need somebody with balls on this team. Not somebody that maybe have balls. We need somebody that has freaking balls on his team. Somebody that's not afraid of the moment, not afraid to take the big shot, not afraid to be great. High motor players, they get buckets. There you go, man. Lonzo Ball. Yeah. Colin Sexton and Lonzo Ball. There you go. That's the backcourt. You still got Quickly. We didn't trade Quickly. You still got an opportunity to get another player in some kind of way through the mid-level exemption or through veteran minimums, that type of thing. What about Derrick Rose? What about him? You know what I'm saying? Maybe he might get the exemption. Or maybe if we save a little bit of bread for these guys, then we can give Rose some money. Because here's the thing: how much money is Rose willing? Are you willing to pay Rose? Rose is not going to start for you. We're going to be talking about Rose coming off the bench. Here's the thing: we got to keep some kind of continuity, which would be great. But at the same time, you have to build the team. It's not about making other people feel good. You know what I'm saying? It's not about making other people feel good. Derrick Rose is 32, 33 years old, maybe even older. Like I said, I'm not looking at it right now. He's in his 30s, getting close to his mid 30s right now. He played pretty well, but he gassed out because he's so old. His legs, his body is old. He's in his 30s now. A guy that's a high usage player, had a bunch of injuries in his career. You know what I'm saying? So you can't expect him to hit that 30 something minute mark anymore. You're gonna get him to come in here to play 20 to 25 minutes a game. You know what I'm saying? So who cares at that point? Because if you got Colin Sexton here and you got Lonzo Ball and you got Emmanuel Quickly coming into his second year, those are your minutes right there. So anything else that you add to that is going to be extra. And then you got Luka Vildoza. We don't know what he's gonna do. So we also gotta keep that leadership too. Rose did bring the leadership, but if he wants to be here, maybe he'll take the mid-level exemption. If he wants to be here, because we can't make somebody like him a priority because we have to build our team. We must build our team. We can't worry about making guys feel good. Is it scroll down here? We got DJ Thunder. Shout out to you. White Falcon 44. What's up? Will Lonzo Ball be happy in New York? You don't know, man. Julius, he did play with LA and with Julius Randle. LeBron in New York only. I don't know. I don't know about CP3 and none of that stuff. We got to stay away from all those different things, man. Because if CP3 came to New York, they're gonna ask him about Dolan and all that stuff. So we don't need it. Yeah, we could sound Graham outright with no trade. Yeah, but why? Like I said, he's shorter than my kids. My kids are 5 and 7 years old. You know, if you're gonna sign a guy, I'd rather just get Colin Sexton. You know, because what you gonna pay Graham? What are you gonna pay him? Colin Sexton's only making $6 million. What you gonna pay on Graham, Devontae Graham? You know, and Devontae Graham had a bad year last year. He had an off year and he was hurt. You know, and he's short. Like I said, he's shorter than my kids. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, what are we talking about with Devontae Graham? Yeah, and if you're gonna want to give money to him, I might as well just start Emmanuel quickly. If you're gonna do that, you know, I'd rather trust the guy that we have rather than trust another team's young guy. I'd rather trust our guy. You know, um, I mean, this is the first Frank Ntilikina mention. We are not talking about Frank Ntilikina. I wish him well. You know, uh, uh, what would my 10-man rotation be? Tom Thibodeau don't like to play 10 guys. You know, so there wouldn't be no 10-man rotation. But just the for shits and giggles, right? I already said the starting lineup in this scenario. In this scenario that I happen to like a lot. But this is just a scenario. We're talking about Julius Randle, R.J. Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, Colin Sexton, and Lonzo Ball. That's your starting five. Coming off the bench there, you're gonna have Quickly. And then you just have to figure it out. You're gonna have Quickly and Kevin Love. And then Bullock maybe could be resigned again. Maybe it's Derrick Rose. We don't know. You got to get some continuity from last year. So we just gotta have to figure that out. But that's easy because we already did the hard work. We improved a lot. With this team already with these moves here. So we're definitely gonna have a draft pick. We'll still have pick number 19 in this scenario. You know what I'm saying? So we still have a ability to get better. 19 and Knox could possibly be another trade to move up into the draft, or possibly to trade to another team to get a player. There's many different ways we can improve at this point, but this would be the base. That will be the core guys in the team, and then everything else that we add to this team is going to be the rest of your 10-man rotation, which more than likely will be closer to 8. Which I think this would be fantastic, man. Because every other team is going to get better. A team like this, I feel like this team can now we can compete with Atlanta, because Atlanta's going to get better. We can compete with Atlanta now. So if we played Atlanta with this lineup, depending if they make a trade themselves on whatever, because they're going to get better as well. I feel like we can beat Atlanta now. And now we can show up to other teams and really have firepower to really bang with them, and still play defense, which is great. Yeah, mid-level vets and young core. That's what we need. That's most championship teams, they're built with a mix of everything. You got your young vets, you got your old vets, and you got your rookies. You know what I'm saying? Look at Phoenix. Phoenix is a prime example. Look at Atlanta. That's a prime example too. They got a bunch of vets to come in there with their own homegrown products. And it all comes together beautifully, man. So I mean, this is what we have to think about going forward, man. So I'm thirsty. I'm so thirsty to continue winning. That 41-31 was great, man. So fourth seed, which is good. But like I said, we're gonna count on other teams to get better. So if we can get back into that fourth seed with this lineup, that's great too. But now we have the confidence to go into the playoffs saying, listen, excuse me, we do have firepower now, and we have trade assets too. That's something that people keep saying too. We'll sign Lonzo Ball to put him in a deal for later on. We still have all of this. Kevin Love is coming down to the end of his contract too, so it keeps that cap space thing, that cap space door opening. Because like I said, we got to pay these guys eventually. We got to pay Julius Randle. We got to figure out if we want to pay Julius Randle. That's a topic for another day. Julius, excuse me, RJ, we're gonna have to pay him. So Kevin Love coming off the books will help all of that. Help expedite that thing, and we just keep this thing going because we have to keep winning, man. This draft stuff is cute. Like I said, 2023, we got the Dallas pick. Hopefully Dallas is in the shitter. Hopefully they trade Luka, and then hopefully Kristaps is gone, and then they're a lottery team for 2023. Hopefully, and then we'll get that boost for that year. But that's a podcast for another day. So anyway, thank you guys for coming in. Let me give Thunder's what these last two comments here. Yeah, man. I'm not even really reading it, but it says you're talking about LeBron, CP3. You know, I don't know. I just don't want to be involved in that because it's gonna because LeBron James is signed with no player options, no team options, and nothing for like an extended period of time. CP3 is also signed for an extended period of time and too. So we're gonna have to trade assets to get them. Like I said, the Lakers are not gonna trade LeBron James for nothing. CP3 is another story, But why would I want to get these old guys here, man? That's the sins of the past. I really don't. I really wouldn't want to do that. Um, so what we do with Taj and Noel, Taj, more than likely he should retire. If he doesn't retire, he'll come back as a veteran minimum guy. That's not something to put any thought in. Nerlens Noel, God bless him. Maybe he'll go to another team and make more than $5 million. God bless him. See you on the back end because he's a dime a dozen guy too. Thank God that we got him this year because he held us down. But Mitch Robinson is coming back, and that's the end of that. We might even be able to draft a center. Because I'm giving up Detroit's pick, and I believe he got a second round pick from Philly, if I'm not mistaken. So there's so many different ways to get better, man. So not to put so much emphasis on players that mean nothing. Taj and Noel, that's not something to really put any thought into, Yeah, man. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for giving me such great feedback in the comments. Give me something else to talk about. So we're gonna leave you here, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, please get out there, like, share, subscribe, all these different things. Hit the thumbs up button for this video just to help the algorithms and get things pumping, man. Shout out to my guys here. Where's it at? It's on my right hand side. You got the diehardknicks.com. I have merch, guys. Check out the merch. MBK fam, that's my affiliates. That's Nothing But Knicks, and all the panels that you see over there are Nothing But Knicks. We're all pretty cool with each other, and Sim is a mastermind. Sim and Mr. Tony Crow, they're masterminding a whole bunch of different things out there, man. So stay tuned for the summer. We're gonna have a lot of fun. They have a draft party at Atlantic City, man. So tune into Nothing But Knicks to find out more information for all of that stuff, man. So anyway, keep watching, keep supporting. I got my man State. Shout out to State. We do a podcast whenever State calls me. We gotta jump on because State is salivating, and we gotta get those thoughts out, man. So we got the diehard State of Mind with State of the New York Knicks podcast. We'll be doing that, and I'll try to do some more things too, man. So I definitely need your support. Thank you for coming in on the comments, but please smash that thumbs up button and please subscribe. If there's a lot of people that watch the channel that don't subscribe. So please do that, man. As I do on the show, put 4 fingers on that forehead, tugging the thumb salute. See you guys on the next one, man. As always, thanks for supporting, man. I'll keep putting this content out. All right, peace.